Hi guys, it's me, Banty Love, with the Banty Love podcast. Um, okay, again, I'm your host, Banty Love, and this is me. Okay, so today I'm going to be reviewing Tracy Morgan. Now we know he used to be on Saturday Night Live. He came to the DMV area. That means Maryland, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Okay. Now I gave him 4 stars. And like I said, let me just get that off the bat. Because I be doing a whole review and then I forgot to say how many stars I gave. Um, the review. Okay, so Tracy Morgan came here to the DMV area here in Maryland. I saw him in concert. Yeah. And okay. Before I get started and talk about everything, I want to say the Fair Use Act of 1976 is for criticism, news reporting, commentary, teaching, scholarship, or research. Okay. All right. So there goes Tracy Morgan. Now, you see her, great background, great jacket. He likes to wear a lot of white, blah, this, blah, that, and it's Tracy Morgan. Okay. Let me just say, I loved his stage presence. He had really great energy. And he kept talking about my hat. Yeah, and this is my famous hat, apparently. People came up to me afterward. Now, this is a diamond-studded hat, That's what I wore. So he kept talking about my hat. He pointed me out, sitting right up front. So love that, you know. That's point number one. And also, so guys, please applaud him and show him some lots of love when he comes on stage. And because I feel that he loves for people to support him and to cheer for him during the course of the act. I think that's sort of when he comes on, when he be on stage and stuff like that. You heard me. Um, and but I think he's a little sensitive in an adorable way. So just let me comment, not for criticism or anything of that sort, but I just want to say that with Tracy Morgan, it was like I felt like it was like a lot of good positive energy. He went through a lot. I came out to see him because I was like, okay, he's in the DMV area. Because I did hear about his. I haven't seen him for years, and I did hear about his accident years ago. Blah this and blah that. So I said, let me come out and support the dude, And his brilliance did shine through. So for Tracy Morgan, he basically he gave a lot of analogy about, how you do not have to go to college and have degrees and such to be rich. Not saying that's a direct quote or not, but, basically he's just saying, like, you don't have to, go to college to get rich. And so he was very, very, brilliant with that. Like, you don't have to go to college to be rich. Talking about himself, just a review about how, he did none of that stuff, but he became rich. So that's point number one. Just wanted to comment and report about that. Point number two, he does speak about his Walmart accident. Yeah, I can't say too much about that, because you have to see the show, but he did, talk about his Walmart accident. And so, let you know about that. But I thought his, like, he just exuded a lot of confidence, a lot of funniness, and I really enjoyed him. Now, point number three of my criticism is that some of his jokes, Tracy Morgan, some of his jokes fell a little flat. So I think he needs to run some of his jokes with a professional peer comedian with like similar comedic style. Like, because some part of the show is like, these jokes are just not making it. And that's my criticism. That's point number three here. This is the review. And yeah. But moving on now, I feel as though like, I think that some of his jokes could have been a lot better, but I felt as though he didn't, like, they fell flat because he did not review those jokes with a comedian on his same stature. You know what I mean? Like, some of the show was flat because I felt like, he didn't get what he was getting right there. I feel the same thing, like, like, for instance, with Chris Rock. I feel as that, when I saw his Netflix special here in the DVN area, I feel as that for Chris Rock, did he, like, really know about what happened with, like, Jada Pinkett and her permanent hair loss before he, like, talked about her looking like G.I. Jane? Yeah. I feel like that. I feel like, for these comedians that they should, like, actually have other comedians that you're going to do a real show and things of that nature, and, of a higher measure. I feel as though you need to run your comedic style by other higher professionals in your field. And I feel as though, like, with Chris Rock, they just really go with the Oscars and just talk about Jada Pinkett's hair loss and say G.I. Jane? Did he know? What I'm saying is that did Chris Rock know about the fact that Jada Pinkett had alopecia allegedly or something of that sort, and that her hair actually fell out before Chris Rock did the comedic style for talking about how Jada Pinkett looked like G.I. Jane? My point is this: is that if he didn't know, if he did not know that Jada Pinkett hair fell out, he shouldn't have made a joke. If he knew that Jada Pinkett hair fell out, he shouldn't have made a joke. So I feel as that my point is that when they're comedians and they are on that level, that they need to sometimes run their material by. This is my criticism. By other comedians on the same level as them. Because I think that, I'm talking about the great comedians here. I think that if Chris Rock, did he know? It makes a difference because perhaps Chris Rock didn't know. And he just wrote this material. Yeah, he did a G.I. Jane joke. Was that off the spot? He just did a G.I. Jane joke about Jada Pinkett. Or did he know that she had alopecia? That makes a world of difference about things of that sort. Will Smith jumping on the stage and smacking her in the face. You understand what I'm saying? Not to think that you have to consider those things. But what I'm saying is that, I think that my point is this, that other comedians, like even with Tracy Morgan, sometimes their jokes can fall flat or they don't know where it's going to be going on with that joke. It's because they don't have professional help from other comedians. I think the same thing happened for Chris Rock talking about Jada, and maybe he didn't even know that Jada already had alopecia allegedly, and that's why her hair fall out. And if he would have had some inside knowledge, he might not have stepped on that stage at the Oscars and said, maybe you should be, maybe you should be looking like, maybe you should do the movie G.I. Jane. Another comedian could have helped him and said, hello, latest news was that Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia, and that's why her hair falling out. And did he just ad-lib and just say, did Chris Rock just ad-lib and say something in the moment that was not poignant of him? And so same thing with me. I felt as that with Tracy Morgan, I felt as that now these are the great comedians. So I felt like with Tracy Morgan is that it was like at some points I thought if he would have got some more comedic development from another comedian, because I heard that Chris Rock was actually getting commentary from Dave Chappelle allegedly. And so I'm like, okay, some of these comedians need to talk about stuff before they get on stage so that the jokes don't go flat. Hear what I'm saying, though, guys? So the jokes won't go flat and they don't say stuff that they don't even know nothing about. I feel that, I think that the point in my criticism is that the comedians need to gather together. They're so scared. I don't know. I'm just saying something. That someone's going to steal their joke. That they don't get together with other comedians and do a great performance, Moving on from that. Point of 4. Now, this is the review for Tracy Morgan. I loved him. That's my hat sitting up there. He was clowning me by my hat, But, yeah. Point number 5. The MVP moment went to when Tracy Morgan said, Bobby Brown used to be sexy singing. I'm not going to sing it, but talking about a tenderoni. Yeah. How Bobby Brown used to be sexy with that. And then he said, Bobby Brown got fat and bloated. So Tracy Morgan, he imitated him, talking about, now when he sings about tenderoni, and then Tracy Morgan lifted his shirt, talking about how he's fat and bloated, talking about tenderoni, and he ain't sexy no more. So he showed his stomach and started singing like Bobby Brown. I thought it was funny. So that was an MVP moment, talking about how fat and bloated Bobby Brown got. And he ain't sexy no more. Okay, the research moment is this. Tracy Morgan does speak about Walmart, and does know about how Tracy Morgan did get hit by a car, allegedly, a Walmart truck, allegedly, and a car, and he spoke about it, that night. He goes on about that. I can't tell the whole story, things that sort, but he does talk about, in the show, allegedly how he did get hit by a Walmart truck and a few years back, and he was in a coma. He didn't say that directly, but that's a research moment of the fact that, research about what happened to Tracy Morgan and the fact that he was in a coma and it was a Walmart truck. He doesn't mention the Walmart truck a lot in his show and said that is something y'all know. But to know more, you have to go see his show. Okay, moving on, point number 5. The most loving moment was him talking directly to me. And like I say, he's talking, I said directly up front. He's talking about my hat, things that sort, blah this, blah that. So we'll say that, let me go back to my hat. I don't know. It was a diamond studded hat. Maybe don't. I don't know. He's a star, and I'm sitting there with this diamond studded hat on. I hope I was not upshining him. But I love his jokes. I love the attention. I love the flattery. It wasn't always flattery. It's going in on me. But, I'm from New York. I'm not bothered. Yeah. But it was really good. I came out to see him because it was really good to finally see him after his accident. It was a few years ago, but, I love the fact that I loved him on Saturday Night Live and blah, blah, this, blah, that. He looked good and he had great stage presence. I also love the other comedians. This point number 5. Um, the most loving moment. He had 3 other comedians that came with him to perform great comedic material. I loved a lot of material. I thought it was great. Yeah, it was a great lineup, guys, and good job. Also, he ended the show. He said good night. The comedy show was over, and he let people come up and shake his hand of diamonds and the bracelet. And those are the clearest diamonds I've ever seen. It was like cha-ching. Clear diamonds, the beauty, no cloudy stones there. True wealth. And he talked about wealth through his show. So I loved his love and letting people come up there and shake his hands, touch his ring, blah, this, blah, that. And I said, thank you. And he, and I love how he acknowledged his fans. It was like really, really great how he acknowledged his fans and things of that sort. I think it was a great show. I was just glad to see him out when I came out to see him. And this is the review. Guys, make sure to like and comment below. This is the Bentley Love Podcast. 5 points, 5-star review. Subscribe. Tell 10 people to subscribe too. Also hit that notification bell. Also, you can reach me at www.bintilove.com. Okay, and again, I gave this comedic performance by him and his crew. There's 3 other comedians that are also brilliant. I gave this 4 stars. Okay, bye guys.